Okay, perfect. All right. So, welcome to Wind Down Wednesday. I'm excited because if you guys don't know, this is going to be a very chill and friendly and good place for you guys to come every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, where you guys can learn a little bit. And it's just going to be some easy teaching, things that you guys can take with you to use for your health and fitness. And if you're struggling with weight loss, here's where you can really begin. And depending on what's going on in the world, I'm always going to be pulling stuff in to teach you guys because health and fitness and weight loss and health in general is not that easy, especially when people are saying, hey, just eat right and work out a little bit and everything will be okay. You'll lose weight, right? Well, there's a million other things that go behind that. So I want to talk today about that, but also I want you guys to keep in mind too, for Q&A, ask as many questions as possible, because if you have a question, more than likely somebody else is going to have a question too, right? So do not fear asking questions. You can always put it in the chat when we're live. You can, on the replay, you can always send me a DM on Facebook or just shoot me an email, and we can always go over anything that you see in the slides and the trainings, or if you just have any questions. And as always, don't forget to bring a drink with you too. I didn't have any wine, but I have what I call my beer bed, or my bed beer. Yeah, my bed beer. Sometimes I'll take a beer to bed and then I'm falling asleep not even drinking it. But let me know if you guys can relate to that. So while you guys are watching this, please just sit back, relax, take notes, sip on your beer, and let me know what you guys think. And if you're watching on the replay, same thing. Just let me know how you guys are feeling, what you're thinking, okay? So as we go through this, write stuff down. Write down anything that you feel resonates with you. If you're like, man, that definitely sounds like me. Not everything is going to relate to everyone. But what I always tell people when they first meet me is they're like, hey, what do you do? I'm like, well, I'm a health and fitness coach, and I work from the neck up. I believe that if you want to lose weight, there is nowhere else to start except for your mindset. And this goes along with when you're first starting to try to lose weight or get healthy. And even when you've been doing it for 25 years, I've been on calls with women who have said, you know, I've been doing this for so long. I remember doing jazzercise, and I remember doing the Suzanne Summers, you know, thing with your legs. I forgot what that was called. But that was kind of similar to Pilates. And then I get on calls with people who are like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I feel like I've worked out before. I eat pretty well. So I always think, I know for me and for the women that I'm always talking to, and for you guys, it's what's happening in between our ears, our brain, right? I talk a lot about the effects from the neck down are just side effects from working with me, because you have to get your mind right. So mindset is what I wanted to start talking about today. And then we're going to come back to this. And, you know, as you're doing these exercises and you're utilizing these trainings, please let me know how it's going for you. If it's not working and you're like, oh, that training didn't work, hey, let me know. Maybe there's a little tweak we need to do. Or if it's working really well for you, let me know, put it in the group, put it in the MoFit group, and tag me, let me know how things are going. So the number one place to start before losing weight, like I tell everyone, is to start with your mindset. And what is your mindset? So there's a lot of different ways to think of it, but I break it down this way. The way that we see ourselves and the way that we see others is what molds our mindset. The way that we speak to ourselves too, whether it's a negative self-talk or positive self-talk, if we tell ourselves, I look like crap, I feel like crap, your brain hears that. So you're going to look like crap. You're not going to be like, hey, I look great, I feel great, and then actually go out there and look great. The negative self-talk is going to do the opposite and make you feel like crap. So then you're going to look like crap because you feel like crap, right? When we don't feel good about our bodies, we hide it. We put on joggers and we put on sweatshirts, oversized shirts, you know, to hide ourselves. This goes into the next thing. We cannot hide from it. You can't hide from your mindset. Your mind is your mind, and there is no saying, hey, you know, you can speak it out into the world and say, hey, I feel great about myself. And then if you go home at night and then you're, you know, eating a chocolate cake and you're like, man, I don't feel great about myself. You can't lie to yourself. There is no hiding it whatsoever. That brings me to the closest relationship that you're ever going to have is the relationship between your brain and you. There is absolutely no lying to your brain. Okay. It knows how you feel. It knows what you think. And you can sit here all day long and tell it, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But in the back of your head, if you know you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it. Right. So this goes along with like even fad diets. If you know that you can't survive off of 1,200 calories, you've done it a million times and it's never worked. Don't tell yourself, hey, I'm going to go do this time and it's going to work. Your brain knows you're lying to yourself. So that's a perfect example. And we have to practice this every day. This is not having a positive mindset and having a good outlook, and really training your brain to always come back to a healthy mindset and a positive mindset is something that has to be practiced daily. It's not something that happens just in a day or a week. It's something that you have to keep doing all the time. And that's ultimately how you get better and better at it. So how do you see yourself? If you've got a pen and paper, take notes here and write down, do you have negative self-talk or positive self-talk? I don't think that there's a wrong answer here, but I do believe that there's a percentage. You have 100% self-talk. Now, how much of it is negative and how much of it is positive? Is it a 60-40? Do you mostly talk pretty good about yourself? Like, yeah, I love my eyes. I would like to have my body look better. I got kind of small feet, but I do have a cute little button nose. Maybe you're kind of 50-50. Maybe you're just in between. Or is it 80% of the time you don't feel like you fit in your clothes? You don't feel like you want to get up in the morning. That's a lot of negative self-talk, saying I'm not good enough to get up. I'm too tired to get up. I lack motivation. I'm just big boned. I'm just this and that. It's like excuse after excuse after excuse. And it's a lot of negativity and that brings you down. Or are you the super positive type? Like you're always go, 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 go. And you're always happy. Okay. When do you feel you have the most negative self-talk? Because we all have it. Nobody's perfect. I know that I have it sometimes where I'm like, oh God, my mom belly, like, geez Louise. And for, other people, they're like, come on, your mom belly is nothing. And then for me, I'm like, yeah, I have to remind myself, hey, you've worked really hard at what you've done, Mo. And I do this to myself. I'm not kidding you. I have to remind myself, hey, you've had 3 kids, you work out, you're healthy. Like, look at all these amazing things. No, you're not a size 2 and you don't look like the gym rats that are out there, and you don't look like Jillian Michaels, but you're a normal person. This is literally what I say to myself. So when I have that negative self-talk, I know that it's usually outside sources that are doing that. For me personally, if I start looking at Facebook too much, if I start watching all these romance videos and I'm just like, it starts to put me down. I'm like, whoa, I have to stop myself and be like, hold up, Mo, reality check here. You're getting into a lot of negative self-talk. You got to pull yourself out. So the opposite of that is, when do you have positive self-talk? Is it around your girlfriends? Is it around your partner? Is it when you're in a class with, your students? Do you feel like you're your best self then? And you're like, yeah, I'm a really good teacher. I really feel proud of myself here. These are the moments that you want to catch, and you want to live in that space. You want to live in the moments that you feel the most positive, because this is going to give you the positive mindset. And then going along with that is, when do you feel the most proud? When do you feel the most proud of yourself? Like when you're sitting at your desk and you see all the kids are listening on your Zoom, then you're like, yes, I know I'm a good teacher. For me, when I was teaching Zumba classes, it was like when everybody hit the same step, I was like, yes, I would feel so proud, because I'm like, oh my gosh, they're learning from me because I taught them that step. It just made me feel amazing when everybody would hit like the exact same note, or if everybody would like go the wrong direction. If it was great, but those moments just made me feel so proud as an instructor. And then the opposite of that is, when do you feel ashamed? When do you feel like you don't feel you're your best self? When do you feel like, I shouldn't be saying this, or I shouldn't be doing that? I know this is a huge one for me. I'm always trying to get over feeling ashamed. Like, oh my gosh, I put this out there. Like, oh no, I swore on the internet. Oh no, I put a bad post up or something. I've had to learn my mindset. I've had to learn that my mindset needs to be more, hey, put it out there, be honest. You're a good person, Mo. Don't feel ashamed. If something messes up, you're human. I always come back to that, and I tell people that a lot. You are human. You're not unique. Our situations are not crazy different. We're all people, right? We all make mistakes. We all get hungry. We all fail programs. We all get up and go to the bathroom in the morning and brush our teeth, right? So Another thing with your mindset is the way that we see others. How do we see others? Do we see them as we want them to accept us all the time? Do you often look for outside acceptance? Are you somebody who is introverted, who keeps everything inside and you kind of want to be in the shadows? Are you like a big voice like me where you're like in people's faces and you're always super talkative and you're always the loud person? You know, I always feel like I'm always a loud person or the super talkative person. I'm that extrovert. And then in other situations, I'm an introvert. So can you be both? Absolutely. But just recognizing this, recognizing whether you need acceptance from people is something that will help your mindset. Yeah, I feel like I do need recognition from people. But once you recognize that, then you can say, okay, well, I guess I really don't. Maybe I really don't. Maybe am a little bit of an introvert and a little bit of an extrovert. Maybe I can shift those two. Maybe I can be more of the person who stands up for themselves. Maybe I can be more of the person who's like sits back and listens. Because there's no wrong answer here, right? Like I said, looking for acceptance from outside people. Okay, a lot of us do that. A lot. Recognizing it and being like, hey, I know I do that, and then changing that habit, that's ultimately where the benefit lies, recognizing and moving on from it. And I'll talk about that later, my from theory. So you're probably thinking at this point, what the hell does any of this have to do with weight loss? So take a sec, grab your beer, grab your wine, whatever you got. If you're at work watching this in the replay, don't grab your water bottle because Tim in the other cubicle might be thinking that, you know, you got vodka in there. So don't watch this at work. All right. Timmy, they don't have vodka. So do you fear what others will say and think? This is, again, you just want to recognize it and say, hey, yeah, I think I do. And that's okay. Maybe I'll start working on that. Maybe I'll start having a better mindset. Like, hey, do I fear what others are going to think of me? Yeah, but oh well, you can change that right then and there. And then how did you grow up looking at the world? Did you grow up looking at other people as, you know, you got to fear them? Did other people accept you? You know, how did people look at their health and fitness growing up? Was it more so, hey, we don't really care. We eat whatever we want. We don't exercise. I mean, these are things that we really don't think about, but they do sit in our mind, in our brain, and they're there. They're ingrained. Recognizing it, accepting it, and moving on. And we're going to talk about my from theory here. There is absolutely no hiding from your mindset. Whatever we think, we feel, we think, we feel, it's the hamster wheel. It just keeps going over and over again, right? If we feel it, we have to face it. Okay. There is no hiding from it because you can't hide from your mind. When we feel it, this is where you have to create a strong mindset and say, okay, I'm going to recognize it and now I'm going to take action, which means where is it coming from? Feel it, recognize it, open yourself up to whatever it is, and then move on. If it's, I'm feeling like I'm going to fail, you know, if you're in one of my weight loss programs, a 21-day reset or a challenge or a program, where's it coming from? What are you feeling? Okay, I don't think I'm going to hit all my workouts in this 21-day reset. So you're feeling that way. Recognize that it's not a lack of motivation. And it's, oh my gosh, I've felt this way before in the past and I've given up. But this time, take a different action. Do something different. Recognize that you've always felt this. Recognize that you've always given up at this point and change that right there. Say, you know what, this time, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going and see what I can do this time. That little recognition will make the world of difference. So be open up, be open and honest with yourself. Open enough that, hey, I'm going to try this 21-day reset and I'm going to tell myself over and over again, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it the best that I can possibly do instead of sitting in that feeling, right? We don't want to sit in our feels. We want to feel it, recognize and open up to it, and then move on. Because then after 21 days, you have gotten further than you've ever gotten in any other program. And you've completely recognized the feeling, gone through it. And now when it comes up again, you will know how to keep a positive mindset. Okay. So, oh goodness, I keep hitting the wrong button. There we go. Okay. The relationship between you and your mind is the closest relationship you're ever going to have. And this is what makes me super excited. You're going to see my hands going everywhere. But this is because a positive mindset is unstoppable. We talk about, having a bad outlook on others, having a bad outlook on you, but as negative as we get with ourselves and having the negative mindset, you can 100% start changing that today, right now, this second, this minute, right? As you're drinking your wine and you're drinking your beer, and, eventually you might fall off the stool if this goes too long, but it's not going to be very long. An unstoppable mindset can do anything, anything. If you tell yourself, I'm going to be the next woman, I'm going to be the woman president, okay? If in your mind you know that that's going to happen, you're going to start taking steps to do that. And whatever barrier comes up for you, you're going to say, well, this is what I want to do, and you're going to keep doing it. I use the example of Michael Jordan a lot, and Michael Jordan took over 9,000 shots in his career. He didn't make every single one, but if he let himself fear that he was going to miss, he would have never made the game winning shots. He wouldn't be MJ. He wouldn't have a statue and his tongue sticking out in the, in front of, goodness, what is it called? I want to call it, the stadium. I can't remember what it's called, but the one in Chicago, he's got his statue in front of it. So I go off on tangents a lot, but he had a positive mindset. It's unstoppable. I remember watching him, it was in the 90s when he had like 103 fever, and he was just pouring sweat, and he kept going because he wanted to be the greatest, and he truly is. So a healthy mindset takes time, right? We talked about how this is not going to happen overnight. This is something that does take time. So to master the art of a healthy mindset, we must realize it is a daily practice for life. So this is something you want to fit into your lifestyle. When you start feeling negative, you want to pull back and start thinking of the positive. When you feel overwhelmed, start pulling back and start thinking of what's the bigger picture here? Why am I feeling this way? Feel it, recognize, be open, and then we move on, right? And that can take a little bit of time. Everyone's different. So life is going to, you know what? Let me back up because I think I might have forgot. Oh no. Okay. I just want to make sure. All right. So life is going to challenge you every single day. It's just part of life. It's part of being human. And you are stronger than any obstacle or struggle you have ever been through. You know how I know this? Because you have overcome every single obstacle up until this point. Right now, where you're sitting, every single obstacle you have faced, gotten through it, and gotten to this point, this second, and this moment in time. Okay. You've also made it through these several months of this pandemic quarantine bullshit stuff that has been going on. This is historical times. Nothing like this has happened before. We've got, the crazy election going on. We've got, a virus that we have no idea how it's evolving, and this, that, and the other thing. And you're here. You made it. Maybe you lost your job, but you're here. Maybe you had 11 cents in your account. I did at one point in my life. And you're still here. I think about that kind of stuff all the time. I think about what I tell you guys is what I tell myself. Mo, you've been through a lot. You've been through some struggles. There is nothing you can't do. Okay. You have to keep reminding yourself that you've been through it and you're not unique. So if you feel like you're struggling in this area of having a positive mindset, here's a couple of things you guys can do. Okay. Daily affirmations. I love the book called Badass Affirmations from Witty and Wild Women. It is my absolute favorite. It has these fantastic affirmations, and I'm like, I'm a warrior. I'm a badass. I am a winner. I know it off the top of my head because I say this to myself. You can even take a Post-it note, put it on your mirror, and put, I'm a badass. I'm a winner. I'm going to do this. Not I'm going to try. I'm going to. And you say that, you do that. You also journal. When you feel overwhelmed, just put it out on paper, get it out of your mind and put it down on paper. Because a lot of times we have like all these tabs open in our brain and we just have to take them out and put it on paper. Okay. Self-care too is huge, and feeling proud and powerful of yourself. So make sure you're taking time throughout the day for your own self-care. Take a shower, paint your nails, cut your nails, you know, basic hygiene, put on some makeup, get out of your yoga pants, put on some jeans, you know, feel like a real person. If you're not working out of the home right now, I know I do that. I work from home. So I will put on jeans throughout the day. I want to feel like a normal person. So and also I feel proud and powerful in my pants. I feel like if I need to feel really powerful, I'll put on my dress pants or I'll put on like a sexy dress or whatever to make myself feel better. Right? And whatever that is for you, you know, you find that what makes you feel powerful. Maybe it's lifting weights. Not everybody wants to lift weights, but there are people who feel more powerful when they're lifting weights. I certainly get that. I do. You also have to learn how to appreciate yourself. This is one that I find to be the most challenging for women. Appreciate yourself and let your brain know that you are appreciating yourself. You are a good person. You are proud of yourself. Because when you think that, you feel that, and you're training your brain to, what I want to say, to function that way, right? To live in that healthy space instead of living in the negative space of, I'm not good enough. I'm not proud of myself. I don't feel good. I'm not going to succeed, right? That's a bad downward spiral. So appreciating yourself daily and being grateful for what you have that self gratitude. This is going to help you immensely. Do it daily when you wake up. This stuff takes seconds. Daily affirmations. I'm a warrior. I'm a winner. I'm going to lose 10 pounds in the next 2 months. Right? And you just keep saying that. Affirmations. That's like seconds. Journal, write down, oh my gosh, I'm worried about groceries. I'm worried about next week. I'm worried about I got some Facebook stuff. I got some emails, like all this stuff. Write it down. Takes minutes. Self-care, whatever floats your boat. All of this stuff can be done in less than an hour, every single one of them, right? But I do advise taking an hour to yourself a day. Okay. If you're going to do a workout, 30 minutes is fine. You don't have to go crazy balls to the wall. But allow yourself to be in your most authentic self. I remember telling Jeremy just the other day, you know, I feel like I'm myself the most around you. I can sing in the car. I can, you know, it's TMI, but I'm like, I feel like I could walk around naked and you appreciate me. I feel like I can dance in front of you and totally mess up. And you're going to be honest with me and tell me, hey, that looks a little bit goofy. You might want to fix that if you're going to teach that. But I feel like my most authentic self when I'm with him or if I'm by myself. I can be the same person I am with him that I am without him. Okay. So I know for me, that is him. And, you know, going on my runs and being in my own space, that definitely allows me to be my most authentic self. So find what that is for you. And if that's with another person or if that's in your own space, at a spa, wherever, if it's in the library, writing a book, whatever you need to do, recognize and face your fears as well. Okay. This is something that I keep talking to Jeremy about, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So one of the things that I plan on doing, there's one of my coaches has a lot of other coaches that come in and talk to us. And there's this one guy who says, you really have to face your fears because this is how you train your brain to be fearless. Okay. So my idea of being fearless is, it makes me very, very nervous just thinking about it, is one day I will in 2021, when the virus is gone, I will go to Chicago and I will stand on the clear see-through platform. It's making my eyes water thinking about it because this is very, very scary for me because I'm terrified of heights. But I will go to Willis Tower and I will be on the sky deck. I think it's called the sky deck. And I will stand there and be fearless. I'm going to face my fear because I'm terrified of heights. Terrified. Like I go to the mall and if I'm on the second floor, I can't be by the rails. This is how terrified of heights I am. So I'm going to start small and I'm going to start there. And then eventually I will make it to Colorado and stand by the Grand Canyon, which is just terrifying. Oh, it's making my back tickle. Okay. So anyway, that is what I want to recognize. And I'm going to face that fear. Right. The other thing is, I think this is probably the hardest one to grasp besides the appreciation and self-gratitude is you have to ask for help. Okay. When you feel like your mindset is all out of whack, you know, something as simple as, you know, shooting your best friend a message or going in the MoFit group and saying, hey guys, I have a really sucky mindset today. I don't know what's going on. Just say it, let it out, and ask people, hey, what do you do when you feel this way? What do you do when you feel like your mindset is completely out of whack and you can't be positive? What do I do? I've had women in my 12-week group who have said they've gone on Facebook in their private group and they've said, I suck today. I don't know what's going on. And let me tell you, the women in that group will love on you so hard and tell you, hey, I feel the exact same way. They're not going to lie to you. They're not going to say every day sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops. They're going to say, hey, I know how you felt. And I felt that way last week. And then a week later, somebody else says the same thing. And then, hey, I felt that way last week too. And they all support each other. Asking for that help is so, it's like a weight is lifted off your shoulders. You're not by yourself. You just have to open your mouth and ask for help. And it's one of the hardest things to do. So I totally understand. So what does all of this have to do with weight loss? Well, if we think we look like crap, we will continue to do so. We will continue to look like crap, right? Our mind follows our body, our thoughts, our body follows our thought. Like everything is a carousel of constantly going round and round, right? If we think it, we feel it, we look it. If we think it, we look it, we feel it. If we see ourselves as lazy, we'll get depressed, we'll give up, we're going to sit on the couch, we're going to grab the Doritos, right? So we don't want that negative mindset. We'll also just look for excuses to give up, and then we'll just gain weight. So the lack of ability to believe in ourselves and never succeed, right? If we don't believe that we can win or we can get across that 5K finish line, we're never going to even try, right? If we don't believe that we could walk, a 5K, if we always tell ourselves, hey, you know what, you're too fat to do this, you're too overweight, you're not going to be able to breathe, you're never going to get up and buy the gym shoes to even go to that 5K. You're never even going to make it to getting up off the couch. You're going to stay there. And this is why mindset is so, so important when it comes to weight loss. Okay. So work on your mindset every single day. And it doesn't take very long, right? This is how you ultimately lose weight and keep it off. Because when you eat crap, you feel crap. And I say this to my people all the time. You are what you eat. And if once in a while you eat something crappy, that's okay. Or if you have a beer, or if you have a glass of wine, or whatever, it is totally okay. But it will only be okay if you allow yourself to let it be okay. I have a lot of women who will tell me, hey, I can't get around that this, your 12-week program is so easy, right? It's because in their mind, they believe it's supposed to be super, super hard. And it's not. It's really not. It usually takes my ladies about half their program to start wrapping their mind around, wow, this is really just small habits and small eating and things like that. And it's mostly just helping them change their mindset to a positive mindset. So I hope this is helpful for you guys. I am going to stop sharing my screen. So if you guys have questions, as always, please let me know. I'm going to put this up on the website so you guys will have access to this. And let me know if you guys have questions. Go ahead and finish your drinks. Have some self-time, some self-care. If your significant other thinks that this call is going to be an hour and they're in the other room, just go ahead and take time to yourself. Have some self-care time. Have some gratitude. Think about all the amazing things happening in your life. Try to stay away from the negativity. And if you need help, jump in the group, ask questions. And as always, you can send me a message. And cheers. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Bye, everybody. See you soon.